Fentanyl has had a tremendous impact on Kensington. It's almost as if when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it got kicked up about 5 or 10 notches. The label Super Duty, that's the stamp, that's the dope stamp. I remember it was unheard of for people to die from an overdose from sniffing a bag. Before it was like a myth where, no, you could only die from shooting up. People started dying from sniffing a bag of heroin that was laced with fentanyl or cut with fentanyl. What's going on, y'all? I'm Frank. Welcome back to the channel. So this video you're gonna see here is part 2 of what is supposed to be like a 5 to 6 part series that Fox did on me or with me. You know, we did together. The resolution doesn't come by staying quiet, right? The resolution to this problem doesn't come by ignoring it. The resolution doesn't come by making pretend it doesn't exist, right? The resolution comes by raising our voices and speaking out about it. That's one of the most powerful things we have, right? I see people on social media every day bitching and complaining about, you know, what's going on over here or something that their neighbor said. Use your influence and your reach for something good. Either to get some wheels in motion and some traction on trying to change something or preventing something else from happening. The first one was a little more personal into my story. I have that on the channel. One you'll be seeing right here just goes into the specifics or the generalities of Kensington, of addiction there, and of the open air use and sale of drugs. It does a little bit more educating. So like I said, this was done about 6 months ago, I want to say. They've been putting it out, a piece here, a piece there. It's got a good reception. One of the best things about this is not being featured on, you know, an international news network. It's not any of that stuff like that. It's getting that word out there. I've got, man, listen, if I could show y'all my DMs, my emails, my text messages, even letters, my mailbox, my physical mailbox at the shop, I've gotten so much support and outpouring from people. Just saying, man, I seen your story on Fox News and then I went to your channel and checked out your channel. They just tell me, they're like, man, thank you for telling this story. Not only is it important, but I have somebody that struggles with addiction. I've struggled with addiction, you know, whatever it might be. I hope you guys enjoy. It's only, you know, it's only about 7-8 minutes long, but I hope you guys enjoy, and I will, as I get the pieces, I'll upload them so you guys can see. I thank you guys, as always, for all the support, the love. Thank you guys. Remember to be kind, loving, and patient, y'all. Stay blessed. If heroin was around, things wouldn't be this bad. You wouldn't see people passed out all over the places. You wouldn't see the amount of overdoses. You wouldn't see the amount of sores and scabs. You wouldn't see the ulcers. You wouldn't see all that stuff. And it's crazy to think when, like, the good option is to have good old-fashioned heroin back, you know. That shit sounds so crazy and so foreign to say or to think. To be like, well, damn, if just good old-fashioned heroin was back, shit wouldn't be like this.
Ground zero of our local heroin epidemic lies in the heart of Philadelphia's Kensington section.
Kensington. The drugs were the motive for a shooting in Kensington this morning.
There are drug users from all over line the streets and makeshift
over the
tents.
area in Kensington about this haven for drug addicts.
Hooked on heroin in Kensington.
Dubbed ground zero for Philadelphia's heroin epidemic.
Park is on the front lines of the nation's heroin epidemic, with evidence of battles lost scattered like weeds.
A drug raid nets big results in Kensington. Along
Residents
with
struggling with drug addiction may soon have a place to safely inject themselves.
Open-air drug
drugs.
abuse in Kensington is just not hard to
Philadelphia's
find.
opioid crisis is far from over.
Fentanyl has had a tremendous impact on Kensington. It's almost as if when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it got kicked up about 5 or 10 notches. I remember when the heroin first became tainted with fentanyl, people would let you know, yo, be careful, this has fentanyl in it. Out of 100 different corners, there might be 10 corners that had heroin that was cut with fentanyl. I remember it was unheard of for people to die from an overdose from sniffing a bag. Before it was like a myth where, no, you could only die from shooting up. People started dying from sniffing a bag of heroin that was laced with fentanyl or cut with fentanyl. 2015, 2016 is where fentanyl took over. Now you can't find a bag of heroin without fentanyl in Philadelphia. Tells you one thing definitely, is that there's an oversupply for the price to drop like that everybody has the product now. So what that is, you see this little blue bag, that's a wax bag. The label Super Duty. That's the stamp, that's the dope stamp that differentiates one person's corner from another person's corner from another person's corner. That's just like Target, Walmart. They hear that dope is good, they go look for Super Duty. You know, the stuff they started cutting it with, now they're cutting stuff with xylazine and carfentanil, which is even worse than fentanyl. It's at an all-time high. You literally see people, you know, with sores with their skin falling off their body. You can smell rotting flesh when you get in a group of a few individuals in the summertime. You just smell it, you know. The thing about fentanyl is the time that it lasts in your body. So the average dose of heroin, if you shoot up, you might have 6-8 hours before you have to use again, before your body is telling you, I need to use. With fentanyl, that's cut down to an hour or 2 hours. So the frequency that they have to use is much greater. Now that just increases everything. That means the more money they have to have throughout the day to keep up that same habit, the high is a lot more intense. And for so many years, addiction to heroin, you were dealing with opiates. Now with the fentanyl and the xylazine and all the other synthetic drugs, now you're not dealing with opiates anymore. So the same medication, the Narcan, doesn't work on some of those drugs. You could give somebody that's overdosing from shooting up fentanyl, you give them Narcan and it doesn't matter because you're treating the wrong thing. You're treating an opiate and it's not an opiate that they're ingesting and they're overdosing from. So it's a complete different ball game now.